Hello, everyone. I'm Jean-Claude BeyondMystic, and welcome to this deep woo-woo episode entitled Simulated Reality with Solreta. This is, of course, part 12. You can find her work at Solreta and Teria on YouTube and also at solretapsychicreadings.com. Let's give her a big, warm welcome back to the show. Solreta, bienvenue.
Hi, JC. Hi, everyone. I saw someone put a cute comment up. Hello, internet family. It feels like it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We have a big family here. Even though they try to separate us, they keep coming back, and I love it. We're all tight-knit, and we're standing strong together.
Yeah, we're just not going to give up. And I was just thinking, I'm like, with being up to part 12, I'm like, did we start on, was it show 1 or show 2? I'm just thinking, how many channels have we taken the show across? I think it was show 2.
At least 2. Yeah, at least 2. Yeah, I think we started the series on the 2nd channel, and then here now on the 3rd channel. You're right. On the 1st channel, we were doing, what was it called? It's called something else. Or it could have been tarot readings with Solreta or something like that. I forget what it was called.
We've done the tantric ones. We've done the woohoo. We've done simulated reality. Yeah, we've done a few different types. Right. And in the readings. Yeah.
I love this one. It has a great feeling to it. And I absolutely love the poster. Every time I bring it up, people tell me, wow, that's a crazy cool poster. I'm like, yeah, I know.
It is.
Of course. And of course, the subject is really nice. So it helps with the poster.
It does. And it was just perfect to have the show that we're doing today because of what happened through the week. And I just want to say hi. I can see a few familiar faces. Hi, John. Hi, Jim. Hi, Ronnie. There's Jenny too. We're so lucky. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hold on a second here. I'm just getting a notification that my connection is really low all of a sudden. Can you guys hear us okay? Give us a 5x5 if the sound and video is coming across okay for you guys. Hi, Libby. Hello, GC, Solreta. Everybody, happy Friday. Hi, Parisa.
Hi.
I'm just looking for a 5x5. Okay, Mark Rank. Okay, 5x5. Okay, it's good. For some reason, I'm getting this weird distortion on my side saying that we have low connection. Okay, we had this the other day too with Penny Kelly. Just was it Penny Kelly? No, with Jay on Friday. It was just horrible. People couldn't hear us. There was a lot of buffering, even though Janine and I could hear each other perfectly. And it appeared that on her channel it wasn't working, but on mine it was. So, anyways, okay, it looks like we're good. So let's get this show started. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this live interactive show. We'll take your comments, of course, as we go, and perhaps some questions at the end of the show here. I want to take this opportunity to start with a vision/experience in reality that Solreta just encountered here a couple of days ago. And perhaps many of you are seeing, hearing, feeling the same thing. So this is going to kind of set the tone for the episode this evening. So Solreta, the microphone is yours.
Yeah, so amongst the busyness of everyday life, I thought, you know what? I'm going to take myself out on a date. So I took myself out to, it's kind of like a Whole Foods style cafe over here in Melbourne called Soul Pod. Has amazing food. And, trying not to work. So I'm on my phone answering messages and things like that. All of a sudden felt like this energy that felt kind of grating. When sometimes you just feel something almost kind of electric, but it feels like it's just, you just need to get out of that space. It felt like that. I'm like, I'm just going to sit with this, put up protection. And I felt it at one of the tables near me with some of the people. And then all of a sudden, so I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm just going to, just hook back into my own frequency, kind of like buffer out. All of a sudden, I saw this like tearing of time-space fabric kind of open up. And the way that I describe it is if we imagine third-dimensional reality to be like a rock, and all of a sudden that rock starts to crack open and fracture and light starts to come out of it. This is what I was seeing was like our third-dimensional reality literally cracking open and seeing a higher dimension start to come out of it. So I just kept tuning into that higher frequency, and the irritation and noise and the fracturing feeling of the third dimension was so heavy, and it was actually really hard to maintain that space. So it was a reminder, I guess, as a soul, just how hard it is to be here on the 3D density and on the 3D level. It's almost like turning music up full blast and it's like out of tune or it's out of sync, and it just does not feel good. I guess it's what they say about, like with 432 hertz, that's like our natural, more harmonic beat. And listening to something else that's not, you don't know until you don't know. And so I saw this happen in 3 different parts, and also through the week had this experience of almost feeling kind of faint, but not in a, I guess, nutritional way or a physical way. It was like feeling like I was literally vibrating out of the physical body and into a light body. So so what I've been talking about since probably March last year about this blue flame ascension energy anchoring that we saw and got photos of in Uluru. So with that transition, the way I describe it is the Visca Pisces. So we're going from one reality, and we're upgrading, and we're transitioning into this new reality. Now, of course, not everyone can go with us. Everyone's in different vibrations. It's not for us to say who should be in one-dimensional space and what their needs are on a soul level. Thanks, JC. That's the blue flame portal energy that we had open up near Uluru and Katajuda when we did ceremony there. It's an amazing, amazing day. And we had about 15 million people that actually tuned into ceremony around the world. So we even have this blue flame energy up here in Atlanta, Georgia, many other places. Stephen and Evan Strong, for anyone that wants to find out information, have so much on it and really get into what's happening on the original Aboriginal elders prophecy side of things connected to do with this. But yeah.
Let me bring the link down in the live chat for the audience. It's forgottenorigin.com. It's on the
thank you. So I know that I tend to sort of like see and feel things ahead of time. Always have since a kid, because I've always seen auras, always seen energies since I was little. But this thing is not like a soft glow torch on the wall, like perceiving an energy just stepping behind the veil. This was literally like the veil actually opening up and starting to see a different reality. I don't know whether to call it an overlay or an underlay, but it was just this cracking open of the third dimension and this feeling of there was, this is something I've experienced a little bit since I was 4 years old. And what I mean by that is I could put myself into universal void state. And what I mean by this is you can allow the energy to build up, and you can slowly sink into it, adjust your frequency, and you can shift your frequency to go into any place, anything. It's kind of like about being on that same wavelength. So when it happens again, and I think because I was by myself in the middle of a cafe, I'm like, oh my God, like, what is this? It was so intense and so strong. It's that feeling of like, is this crazy? Like, is this for real? But when I settled into it, I knew exactly what it was. It's what people have been talking about with this dimensional shift, and it's what the Hopi elders talk about in regards to the prophecy. We need to hop in the river one by one. It's not something that we can do holding hands with everyone else, even though we have this beautiful community here, and a lot of us are jumping in the river individually. When it comes time to it, when you start to see these kind of fractures happen, and the other thing that you'll get on a very physical level, people talk about friends falling away, talk about, coming out of alignment with different things. And we have that astrologically at the moment. We have the planets, we have the stars helping us. There's a lot of Mars, Venus energy happening. There's a lot of opposites happening. We do have some warring energies, but we also have some divine loving energies come in as well. Yeah. So really important to maintain your own frequency, to meditate as much as possible at the moment, to get to bed early so that we can have those between world states come in, so that we can really start to get attuned to what it's like, where we're heading, where we're going, because it's happening. It's literally opening up on the physical reality. So really exciting.
That's very beautiful. And folks, if you had similar experiences this week, please do let us know. If you're watching on replay, just put that in the comments below. If you're watching live, please put that in the live chat here, and I'll bring it up for discussion. I posted this earlier this week. SOLRETA, let me bring it up. This was a graph of the Schumann resonance, totally off the scale here on the 13th, 14th, and going into the 15th. So I'm curious, which day did you have that first initial?
It was Wednesday, which would have been your Tuesday evening. So it would have been around probably like
the 13th,
1 p.m. to 2 p.m. here, which I guess is.
So wait, was it your Tuesday or your Wednesday?
My Wednesday, which is your Tuesday evening.
Right. So it would have been the 14 or 13. So you were right in. So this was happening as you were seeing this vision. Wow. Incredible.
And someone, actually, it was John. John on here, he actually texted me, look what JC's just posted. I'm like, oh my gosh, that, it coincides with the experience. And I just had 3 cards fall out that explain the experience as well.
Let's do it. Okay,
So,
and I'm scanning the chat here. If you guys, there's a couple of people. I know on that day when I posted this, I said, hey, are you guys feeling this? And everybody was like, hell yeah, I'm feeling it. What the hell's going on? I'm like, well, something is hitting. Whether it's coming from below or above or both, potentially, I'm thinking that compression is happening also. It was a crazy week. And of course, we saw a lot of events this week transpire because of it, in spite of it. I'm not sure. But just to show you a few things here, we had some weird direct energy weapon stuff happening in Canada here that started or maybe responsible for some fires. Janine and I pulled some cards on that, and she thought it was a white hat operation and that really we shouldn't be looking on the surface, but really what's going on below ground there. So that's as much as I can say here without getting into too much trouble. I thought that was interesting. This too, this George Floyd poster being hit by lightning again on these crazy days that are happening. And of course, we saw everything happening in Cuba and South Africa. Like things are shaking up really, really bad. So let's get to the cards and see what the cards have in so far.
I just also want to send, I've got, a few friends that are South African, and I've got some beautiful South African clients. I just want to send a lot of love to South Africa and Cuba at the moment and everywhere else that needs it. Also, we're currently in 5th lockdown here in Melbourne, Australia. Your channel, we're up to channel 3, we're up to lockdown 5. Like, it's just, crazy times. But the way that the cards fell out, so I was just shuffling cards, tune into the energy of what's happening. You guys know that I love to do this with you. So I haven't actually picked cards around that experience. I thought I'd wait till now. Awesome. And it just confirms everything. They fell out face side up. So I'll show them to you. You know that I usually tune in. But they were like 1, 2, 3. So spirits were really giving us a message with this. We've got the adjustment card. Now, this is my card for when I'm talking about what happened at Uluru, where I'm talking about this is the portal energy that's anchoring. This is the Visca Pisces that we're going through from one dimension into the higher octave. And then we've also got, and it just happens to look a little bit like an ET, by the way.
Yeah.
So we also have, and there's the Hebrew symbol on here is like the lightning strike. So what this also represents is not getting caught up in these lower energies that are around. It's like one of the alphabets or the alphabet and Hebrew alphabet that reaches above and beyond, higher than any of the other Hebrew letters. So it's able to capture that lightning, to bring it down so that we're a lighthouse, to be a beacon of light, to kind of lead the way. So you can imagine maintaining this light, maintaining this frequency when this cracking of the dimensions is opening. And it literally was, if you imagine taking a piece of plastic and you light it and you see it start to kind of like melt away, that's what it looked like happening in the 3rd dimension. I literally saw our actual reality overlay start to kind of melt and burn away. And I could see like right through this 3rd dimension. So this is the energy that we need to maintain our frequency when we see, feel, hear things happening like this, because the energy around was almost like this screeching kind of like grinding noise, which I don't usually feel in the 3rd dimension, but it's like the uncomfortableness of it had turned up, or I'd become more aware of it. So really everything you can do to maintain your heart frequency at the moment. We have a lot of Cancer energy around. So that's really come in to help us like readjust, to help us set up boundaries. There's a lot of boundary setting happening at the moment, especially like as we're about to go into Leo too. But we have Ace of Discs. Can you see this is almost like a womb space, and there's cellular division happening. This is something that's birthing, like we're literally birthing into, we're going through the birthing process, being born into this new time, this new age. Look at this, it's the sun. This is like the happiest card in the deck. This is all about timing for me, this card. We have all of the different zodiac sections, almost like a clock face. But this is about transformation. The sun is about transformation. These little beautiful cherub angels are about transformation with their butterfly wings. We're going through one of the biggest spiritual transformations and shifts that's ever taken place on the earth. So we need to look at, what does it mean to be in the 3D realm? What does it doesn't mean that we don't, just plan for being in higher realms or higher dimensions. We still actually need to make sure we're looking after ourselves, because we can see what's happening in South Africa. We can see like all of the looting, all of the food being taken away. So we need to make sure that we do prep, because that's going to eliminate a lot of the fear too. So I'll just pick some clarifying cards to see if there's anything else that they have to say. But it's pretty much exactly what we said has fallen out in the cards. So we don't really need to go into them too much, but it's maintain that heart frequency is one of the higher things with it.
Very good. And John says, JC, I'll have to get a video to you of the sun. It grew 9 times in my backyard. I've been tracking this other YouTube channel. I forget the name now, and I think I lost it when I lost this last channel. End of Days or something like that, or The Final Days, I think. Anyways, it's a woman who tracks the FAA cameras and looks at the sun and some of these celestial objects passing in front and behind the sun, and that are captured on these federal aviation cameras. Anyways, and a couple times she's seen the sun do exactly what John is talking about now. So we're like, what's going on? And so I'm curious, John, what date is your video? So let us know in the chat here, and I'll find a way from...
He sent it to me. It was just the other day. I think it might have been around that similar time that I was experiencing things.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But you could see it. He actually took a photo of and video of the sun from behind a rock face, sort of like an overhanging cave part of his pool. Mm-hmm. And you could see the sun coming through the rock. So it was like a full sun coming through, but it's like you shouldn't have been able to see the underside of it. It was really interesting. Wow. So with the clarifying cards, they're talking about distraction. Now, if we look at everything that's happening in MSM right now, we are being given total distraction. So if we're kept, I just saw something open up then in the room. If we're kept distracted, if we're kept anchored into this 3D realm, are we going to see, hear, and feel and recognize when something else is opening, when there's a portal opportunity to go through? Or are we going to freak out and go into meltdown? Like, we need to prepare for this. Yeah. People talk about preparing for other things that are happening, but we need to prepare for like a spiritual ascension energy as well. So we have, thank you. So we have King of Swords too come through. And we also have Queen of Cups. I feel that this is really talking about like what is being communicated to you from these higher realms. What is it that's being communicated that's a higher truth? Because we all know truth when we hear it and when we feel it. There's Page of Cups. So we've got to start like really getting into what does it mean to live in a higher dimensional space? What does this look like? Like, let's start getting just as obsessed and just as, checking into Schumann frequency, meditating, checking into the beat of the planet as what people do with MSM, checking the news. Like, we need to be doing it on the counterbalance side of things. So getting together in meditation with like-minded souls, people, whether it's in person, because if you look at it, we're really trying to be kept apart at the moment, especially here in Melbourne and some other places. I know Canada, you guys have been quite hard hit too. So looking at the opposites, because this is kind of what this adjustment card is too. But I know that you guys understand and feel it because we've talked about it in different shows, but it's literally happening in our dimension now. We're getting so much closer. Wow.
I'm just like blown away that all of these synchronicities this week. And it's funny, I was doing other shows this week. Of course, I'm busy battling more censorship, and I did an update video for you guys today. Go check that out. I won't bore you with the details here today, but it's been consuming a lot of my time. But in all of that too, I've been reminding my friends and my family to do the important things, like to hug your kids, to go outside in nature, to pet your dog, because all of this, like you're saying here, this distraction is just humongous right now, and it's preventing us from maybe seeing what's right in front of us. So let me bring up this. This was the YouTube channel. She hasn't posted anything for 4 months, but anyways, she does all of these amazing videos. If you guys want to go check out the feel here of what this woman is doing, is absolutely amazing. And so many times here, she's capturing these what I would call the blue Kachina and the red Kachina, really. So if you're going back to the Hopi prophecies, there's a lot in this channel for you guys. Maybe one day I'll be able to interview her. I'll try to reach out. Somebody was saying in the chat here that I'm purposely ignoring their comments. So I'm not sure why you think that. There's just so many of you, and I'm not ignoring anybody. If you're what's the word? If you're talking about on Patreon right now, I don't have access. So I've just been suspended. So if you're sending me messages there, for now, I don't have access and I can't, of course, respond to you. Hopefully that situation will be resolved very shortly here, and I'm working on that. That was the update video from today. So please, guys, just bear with me as I fight this fight again. So, all right. So, SOLRETA, going back to this frequency, well, there's two things. You said, not to forget the people in South Africa, your friends. I have a lot of friends in Cuba as well, and my heart goes out to them. And I know there's a few people in the chat here talking about Cuba and South Africa too. Can we do maybe a guided
let's have a
meditation here to ask the audience watching this show to come together, to bring our energies to help our friends in Cuba? And
let's do that.
Can we do that? Okay, awesome.
And I just want to say, you mentioned Kachina. So I think it was last year before we went through the shift, before the blue frequency anchored. Oh, hi, Omar. It's good to see you over here. Omar has an amazing channel as well. He has incredible conferences that he runs. So anyone that's interested in topics that we talk about here, he also does some amazing shows. It's getting high frequency come in. But yeah, you just mentioned about blue Kachina. So blue Kachina is Sirius. So in Egypt, it's called Sothis. So on the 23rd of July is Sirius rising, where it rises before the sun, which heralds the Egyptian New Year. So this is also the official start date that the Olympics is supposed to take place. So we talked about this, I think, just a little bit last week. So the Olympics will be held from then up until the 8th of the 8th, which is the Lion Gate. So it's really interesting that they're running that, trying to think of what I can say, running that orchestrated event.
Sure, let's call it that. That's a good term.
Yeah, orchestrated event in these very, very powerful times. So it's really important that we hold really strong frequency going from the 23rd of July until the 8th of August, because it's like portal after portal. So it's almost like this, the way I get shown it, it's like one portal window opening and another one opening. So it's like, if we're to, this is my like sci-fi, going at warp speed. Right. Yeah, so really important. But yeah, if we all want to just maybe even tune in for a moment and send some love. So I'll just guide us through a little something. We'll start with some light language and then I'll explain it and we'll go into some English. So everyone, let's take a few deep breaths and just get centered. And we already feel all connected here as a family, which is quite lovely. So just breathing in deeply. And as you exhale, just starting to feel everything dropping away, everything that's not in harmonious vibration with you, just feeling it drop away, feeling it fall to the floor and sinking into the earth, and the earth absorbing and transmuting. So taking another deep breath in, all the way in. That's right. You guys are doing really good. I can feel the energy shift. So breathing all the way out. And just feeling that beautiful inner part of you that glows right near your heart chakra. Just sensing and feeling and seeing a beautiful golden light. And continue to breathe all the way in. And feeling that light rise up through your crown chakra and out above the earth. And connecting with that divine universal wisdom, God, the goddess, your higher self. And seeing it as a beautiful golden sphere of light glowing with the rays reaching down upon you. And just noticing everyone else's energy, all of these little golden spheres of light that are connected to this one source, this one universal divine wisdom, this point of peace and point of love. And seeing that light and illuminate not only our hearts, but the hearts of everyone around us. And just concentrating that energy in the center, if we're in a circle, concentrating that energy, sending it out to South Africa, to Cuba, and to whoever or wherever else needs it. Miayana yanara dara nukaya. Ia sayana hartakayana hator. Alniana naratakayana hasuana. Ia shayana hayana hartakoa. Miayana yaratakoyana hartu. Ia sayana naratakayana hartaka. Ia shayana hayaratakayana ala. Ia yana hartakoya yarasu. Ia shoyona yaratakayana ara. Ia shoyona yaratakayalana. Mia suyana hartakoya. Ia shayana haratakai. Ia yarno se takara. Mia shoyana haratakayunur. Ia naratakayana sotara. And just gently letting your breath return to normal. And I just want to thank you everyone for sending that and for connecting. Could feel each and every one of you.
That was very powerful. Thank you. And yes, Jenny was saying tingles all around. I felt that too. So that's very good. And especially for those of you in the audience who are from those regions we've just mentioned and other regions, like there's turmoil everywhere. We understand that. And that's why Soretta was saying, and everywhere else that needs help right now. We just I would focus on there. It was quite a big splash in the media this week, even though the mainstream media was trying to downplay some of these energies, but we know better. And of course, we have friends who are there who are saying, "Oh, it's not exactly as the media is being portraying it." So, yeah, our hearts go out to everyone here, and thank you so much, everyone, for joining us on this little meditation here. Really appreciate that. You guys are amazing. That's awesome. So, what do you want to do from here, Soretta? We're about half an hour in. Do you want to take some viewer questions? Do you want to look at some more events around the world?
I'll just describe what I saw when we were doing that process as well. Okay. So I could see all of these beautiful golden lights, and I guess I'm just sort of like a voice for what's happening and what I'm seeing. But I saw that beautiful golden light come in, and what I heard from the hearts of the people was enough is enough. So we've all really had enough of what's happening here on Earth, and it's time to switch and start to, I guess, go into this other frequency that we were talking about. But it really is to reconnect with that source. Thank you, everyone, for your beautiful comments too. I really appreciate everyone joining in and just connecting in that beautiful heart space. But yeah, I mean, we really need to start inviting that higher part of ourselves onto this planet. We are like Avatar. This is just the vehicle that the soul is anchored in. So we need to start living in the world from a soul perspective and that soul point of view.
Very good. I'm just scrolling through the amazing comments there, and Libby says, "Oh my God, you made me cry." I was feeling some of those energies too, actually, Libby. So yeah, thank you for saying that, Ronnie. That was great. Beautiful, Soretta. Lisa, thank you so much, Lisa. I appreciate that. Beth, love frequency to all. Thank you so much. Ariel, LOL, Woke Dealer, Pinka Sira. I don't know how to raise that. Oh, wait, Pinka Riza? Is that how you pronounce that? Woke Dealer, the pain in my eyeballs come down. That's good. Okay. That's good. That's good. We're changing your frequency. That's awesome. All right. I'll take the triple hearts here as we go. And let me check here the PayPal tip jar for today and see if we can thank lovely donators for tonight as well. So the first one in there is Blaine. Let me see if I can bring that up. Definitely hear a ringing in my ears, heart flutters. JC, could you ask Soretta to pick a couple of cards and see what the universe has for me? For Blaine Gurdry or Guidry. Thank you so much, Blaine. Soretta, you want to start there? Are you ready to pull cards?
Sorry, I missed it.
Let me bring it up.
I was still reading.
Sorry, I forgot to bring it on the screen.
I was just like reading Pink Marissa. Her name's Marissa.
Oh, there you go, Marisa. Marisa. Thank you so much, Marisa. I appreciate
Sorry,
that.
I zoned out. I'm still feeling very connected.
Yeah.
What was the question that you read, JC?
Okay, hold on. Let me switch screens. I forgot to bring it up also. Like just these weird.
I was looking for you to bring it up. So
okay. And Beth is saying, yeah, the Merkaba is spinning faster all of a sudden. I don't know. Something's going on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so back to here.
Did you just feel that? There's a hit and a rise in Kundalini energy too.
Actually, that started a few minutes ago, but yes,
yeah.
I agree.
I know. I wasn't sure whether I'd mention it. I'm like, it's getting stronger.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, folks, on that note too, SOLRETA and I were supposed to record this week episode 2 of Raising Kundalini with SOLRETA. And she was having some conflict issues with the kids in school. I was also having, of course, the issues with the censorship. I'm trying to repair everything in the background. So we've delayed that, hopefully maybe a week or two at the most. As I get rearranged on my side too, we will be recording that and posting that for you guys on pay-per-view. I know a lot of you guys were asking, please put up a part 2, so we'll get there soon. So sorry about that. Again, just this is what they want, right? When they do all the censorship, they want to delay information from coming out. They know they can't stop it, but they want to delay. So it is what it is. So folks, thank you for bearing with us. Okay, Blaine, back to you. Definitely ear ringing and heart flutters. Okay, so symptoms he's getting. JC, could you ask SOLRETA to pick a couple of cards and see what the universe has for me? Thank you.
Okay, so even just touching the cards, the first thing that I start to perceive is this yellow wave of energy coming in. So with this ringing in the ears, I'm actually feeling like it's angelic frequencies, like literal angelic beings, wings and all, coming in from a higher dimension. And I feel that they're trying to give you downloads. So it might appear in the form of ringing, or it might appear in what feels like codes. So when you're getting that, just ask and tune in. So it's like literally shift your energy frequency to that ringing in the ears and ask that they give it to you in a way that you can understand. Now, it might not be perceived as like word for word. It might be like you get different waves of energy come in. So if it feels good, because you only want to connect to things that are loving and that love you unconditionally. So, hands raised up and tuning into this frequency and then feeling what your body is responding to. So you might get like a, different energy center that's opened. You might get like a different impression or an emotion or a feeling. You might get a symbol. You might get a word or a mantra come up as well. But I feel that they're trying to communicate with you. So I'll just feel into these cards. So I'm also seeing like a lot of gold come through with this. So they're talking about like with your higher learning. It's definitely to do with this higher connection. It's not a learning from books. Yes, you can like look up symbols and different things, like if you get an impression of something, but they're trying to directly relay something to you. So I'm going to flip these cards. This is so funny, JC. Look at this. So here's this beautiful golden, it's not quite an angel, but it's like a very angelic looking goddess type being. And it's receiving messages of golden light coming down from the universe. So what I said is what is showing in the cards. So really pay attention to this higher frequency coming. Now, what we'll notice about the frequency coming from the eye at the top is that she's trying to buffer it. She's trying to translate it through physical means. And this is also representative of Kundalini. So it really sort of shows that if we can not try and, put that buffer, put the block up, and we can actually be here and receive this energy, we can start to get it come in harder and faster, and we can have a merger take place. This is the Lover's card. This is that merger with Spirit, because Spirit coming in to ordain and to help, almost like sanctify or bring blessings to something. And we see the angel at the top of the card coming down from above. There's a little golden cherub up there as well. So when we tune in and we see things before flipping the cards or even before picking cards, this is like my first impression of what Spirit is giving me. When they give me the cards, this is usually when it's exactly the same as confirmation. If they were to give me anything different than confirmation, it's to build upon the story or give us more information in which direction to go. And that's why when I'm doing readings, it really is kind of like that quantum jump, or we can really look into how do we get to the next step? How do we get to the next level? So we have this beautiful power card. They're really trying to help anchor and bring this down as a foundation. Now, this is so that you can have, I guess, these higher frequency languages and messages translating and anchored down. So this beautiful card of power is the perfect balance of earth, air, fire, and water. At the top, we have the sun's influence, and we can see there's a tiny little window in the back here. And this is for that energy from source, from God, from the universe to come in and illuminate. It's essentially that fifth element. So if we look to the movie, The Fifth Element, and we have Mila Jovovich in the center, and she has that light crack open and come out of her because she's in that divine perfection state. She's essentially, her DNA is perfect. She's meant to be the divine perfect being. Now that's what I'm sort of seeing come down for you, is this angelic influence, this angelic voice wanting to come in and wanting to help work with frequency. There's a lot of frequency work being done around you at the moment by spirit. We also have a Capricorn energy with this too. So it's to really look at like where you want to go, and to look at this high level of achievement that we're going through on the planet at the moment. There's possibly a bit of distraction and different things happening around you. So it really is like, come back to it is the energy that I'm feeling and hearing from spirit.
Okay, very good. So Blaine, I hope that helps you out. Next question is from John and Lisa DiMartino. Let me read the question first, let it sink in, and then I'm going to go, because a lot of people are asking, hey, JC, show the pictures that John sent you. So I just found them. Lucky. Cool. So I found the pictures in the email, and I've set that up. Should we do the pictures first, SOLRETA? And then, so I don't want to interrupt you with the questions. Okay. No, that's good. Okay, so John and Lisa, hang tight. We'll be right back with you for your question. So let's go and look at John Krez's picture. So this, I think, okay, let me make sure I made the first one right and then the second one. Okay, so I have two pictures, John. I think you sent me two pictures. So this is the first one in the series, and you can see, I guess, a pool in the background here, trees, the light post. So you can see the size of the sun here. And then in the second picture he took, look at that.
And also, I should say that, like with that line that goes through the middle of the sun, the top part actually that's a cave at the top. So we're seeing the underside as the natural sun. That top part shouldn't be there because that's a rock wall.
Wow.
Yeah. So really interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. So what I was having experienced through the week, can you see that stone cave in the background? So that experience through the week, the more that we let light come in, the more that this is kind of breaking through that third dimensional reality. So what I was talking about, this is like a physical example of it.
Wow. That's absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And this was at the same time as the...
I think it was around the same time.
Thursday.
When John sent it to me, but it might have even been the same day. John would probably remember better than I do.
So John, if you're in the chat, let us know what date and time. Oh, do I have a time in this picture? But where are you? 2:31. He's in your neck of the woods, or he's in John? Where are you?
No. He's Arizona.
Oh, he's Arizona. Okay, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would be ahead of my time.
Right. Okay.
So it was. Yeah, it wouldn't have been the exact same time, but it would have been like around, I think he sent me your thing with the Schumann frequency as well.
Oh, okay. So it was happening at the same time, possibly. Wow.
It possibly was. Yeah, John would remember.
You know, we're all saying wow, you and I, and of course everybody in the chat is like, wow, double wow, yes, big wow.
Yeah.
So thank you, John, for sharing that. That's amazing. Wow is right.
It is. Thank you for sending them, John.
Merci, Mark Pacheco. Merci. Wow, Alicia. Aspiring alchemist. Wow. Let me see here. JC is a perfect, polite host. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate that. I try.
Wow.
Not always easy, but I try. GG, triple hearts. Okay, I'll keep those on for now. I love the triple hearts. That's my frequency as well. Okay, so we're back to what now? Oh, John and Lisa. Okay, let me go back up here. Let me scroll this for you guys. Okay.
Oh, and hi, Edna. Edna's in South Africa. We're sending you lots of love.
Absolutely. Amazing. Oh, there you go. Hi from South Africa. Okay, we'll keep your frequency on the screen as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so John and Lisa, question about where you see us as a collective in the process of awakening. Do you feel that we are coming out of the darkness?
Yeah, sure. Let's have a look. And I just want to send big love to them. They're two of my favorite people.
Me too.
They're a beautiful couple.
Absolutely.
And beautiful family, actually. So I've just picked 3 cards. So I'm just going to tune into this frequency. Oh, and they're guiding me to get another card from my other deck.
Oh, Lakeside Laura says, JC is the Johnny Carson of the woo world. We should have somebody do a skit like, here's JC. It was used to Johnny. Anyway, I used to watch that.
We need to get you a little voice intro.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
So I've got 3 cards from the Psychic Tarot. So we've got the card of wisdom. And look at this. There's the sun frequency coming in here.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the card of authority. So I really feel that maybe this is just the rebel in me, but when I see this card, like in regards to this question, it's almost like someone standing in front of me, arms crossed.
Right.
And it's kind of like I'm holding a totally different frequency to them, just because they've got their arms, crossed,
Right.
and they're in
Blocked off.
attitude.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that like being in a different frequency is any less powerful. Like that meant being intimidating, but if I'm holding a love frequency, that might be intimidating to someone who's not holding a love frequency. So I really feel that's to maintain the wisdom, maintain the frequency, and use your power. So we see here that there's power coming in from spirit, because the animal also represents like the spirit animal side of things. And it's that wisdom, which is a wisdom not just from this age here and now, because a lot of us, especially those that are watching your channel, JC, are not only starseeds, but are souls that have incarnated time and time again to be here for this particular time at this exact moment. So a lot of the souls here have been in Atlantis when things were going down, in ancient Egyptian times, and other times where we've been through massive shifts. But this is the one that we've been preparing for. So we've had the like pre-show rehearsals, we're about to go on stage. It is the energy that's happening at the moment. So I'll just tune in with these 3 cards and see. Yeah, so I'm actually seeing John and Lisa just as this beautiful shining gold couple in their community, and I'm just seeing waves of love emanate out their heart and frequency. So you two definitely meditating together and connecting in, linking chakras, especially like, linking the heart, linking the mind, working with some of the Tantra energy that JC and I talk about as well, will help for those waves to be dispersed even more powerfully throughout your community and connecting to other people working with similar energy throughout the world. So we'll flip these cards. Oh, that's exactly what I just said. Look at all these little flames connecting. It's a grid. We're essentially setting up a grid across the planet. We've got Prince of Swords who's rushing in, coming out of another dimension. And with the octahedron in the center of the sphere, so we've got this green sphere, the octahedron, this gold octahedron, represents the manifestation of our desires. So in sacred geometry, an octahedron is connected to, if we want to manifest something, we can visualize an octahedron, and it will accelerate and speed up the way in which this comes into being. Then we have the success card. So we have to hold in our hearts and hold in our minds. It's already happened. It's already happened. I don't know if anyone's seen that video of the ultrasound with the healing frequencies in China that Greg Braden put up a long, long time ago, where the lady's having an ultrasound, I think, and they're shrinking the cancer. The healers are standing there.
They're kind of like doing Reiki or something live. Yeah,
and what they're saying in Chinese is, already healed, already healed. They're treating her as though she's already in that frequency of being healed. Right. So we need to live on this planet as though the planet is already healed and humanity is already healed. We're already whole. Right. And we're already in this space of love. We're already in this space of divine frequency. Everything else is just a distraction.
Absolutely. That's amazing. So thank you, Lisa and John, for that. Trisha Roberts. SOLRETA and Jean-Claude look like twins. Twins? Yeah. We could be twins. We could be twins. Yeah. Energetically.
Another mother.
Energetically, absolutely. We're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, we are.
Many levels. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Beautiful power couple. Beth, I'm not sure if probably John.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point.
They are.
Absolutely. That's beautiful, Jenny says. Okay. Yes. Oh my God. Saw that China video. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. That was crazy. Yeah. It was really powerful. It just shows the power of, yeah, we could do a whole show on that actually. Let's try to move on here. See if I can get another comment from the chat. Libby. Oh yeah. I love your Coronatini video. Yeah, I did a James Bond spoof with Sarah. This was on my first channel, was deleted. I re-uploaded it to the second channel. Of course, it's gone. So thank you, Libby, for reminding me. I'll try to repost some of those more funny videos here on the third channel. Because, yeah, everybody keeps wanting to see them.
That's my favorite. Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day, thinking, I hope you upload that one.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that one. And she said something about the Jenny one, too. I'm not sure which one. Yeah, there was 2 or 3. There's some funny ones with the hair flipping thing. We did it like a shampoo commercial. It was absolutely
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, let's move on. Let's see what I have next here. Marisa Ogello, thank you so much for the donation, but I don't see a question attached to the donation in PayPal. So if you have a question, please just type it in here and let me know who you are. Marisa Ogello, I think is how you pronounce it. Okay, the next one is Connie Jenes. Okay, let me see if I can bring this up. So, Rita, is there any TF info for me? TF. Oh, let me bring this up. Can you read that? Do you understand what you're saying here? Let me zoom that in for you. Hold on. TF. What's TF? I'm having my DM connect on the
Oh, is that there for me?
I'm not sure. Well, what do you think? Can you pull cards on this and just figure out that the cards know what you're alluding to?
Is there any, so Rita, is there any info or any TF info for me? I am having my DM connect me on astral and etheric. Twin flame. Oops, the card just jumped out. Is there any twin flame info for me? I'm having my DM connect me on the astral. I think that's what it means. Is that what? Yes, someone else.
What's the DM? To me, DM here in Canada is deputy minister. So I don't think she means deputy minister. DM. So guys, be a little bit more precise in your questions. It'll help us out here. Twin flame.
I'm gonna. Oh yeah, she's saying divine masculine.
Oh, divine masculine. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I think we're on the right track. Anyway, I had some cards fall out, so I'm just feeling to this.
Thanks, Connie.
This is really interesting. So what I'm actually feeling come in. This is bizarre. I'm going to try and relay it as much as I can because I'm watching it and feeling what it's like to live inside a movie right now. Mm-hmm. What they're showing me is I'm seeing this angelic song actually come in on a soul level. And they're showing me it's like a song that's been seeded into the heart. And what they're showing me is that we each hold these songs sort of within our heart that's a divine melody. And when we come into interaction with those that are of soul family, all of these melodies start to play together. So we have this beautiful symphony and harmony of this chorus of heart energy, heart frequency. So what they're showing me, I'll just have another look into this. There's like heat coming off the cards. It almost feels like I've got my hand over fire.
Wow.
So that's really interesting. Okay. What they're actually showing me is it's more about you putting your heart song out into the world. So a lot of us are like trying to listen for everyone else's heart song. Like, do you have my heart song? Do you have my heart song? But we actually need to focus on singing our own heart song and our own frequency so that others can better hear it. If we're not singing ours and we're too busy listening, we're not going to, does that make sense? This is the way that they're showing me. I've never seen this before. So I'll flip these cards. Okay. So there may have been like some past life stuff with this person. We have the completion card come up. So where they were talking about focusing on your own song and your own frequency, we have a completion energy come up. We have the Aeon card come up, which is about transmutation and transformation. This is something to do with releasing that song, releasing that which of us is connected to source. So we can see here we've got Nuith, the Mother Sky Goddess, who is abundant, and she, I guess, helps to nurture. We see here there's these little babies that are down the bottom. This is like womb space energy. We've got Horus in the middle, which is connected to the left and the right eye of mystery school. Now with this, it's to refocus your attention back on yourself. We see here there's a beautiful etheric being who looks like Medusa. So there's that misunderstanding with Medusa, you know, being evil and turning people to stone. She was actually even more beautiful than Aphrodite, and Aphrodite became jealous and turned her into what we know of her today.
Right.
We also have the card of cruelty. Now, this is where I was also starting to feel where they're saying to, you know, be careful not to listen to other people's, to try and listen to other people's frequency. So let's pick a card around this. If we're tuning into you, just tuning into your own frequency, I'll flip this over because I know we don't have long. This is so perfect. This is about planting the seed so that things can open and blossom. So if we look at, if we're only really focusing on hearts a little bit or our own frequency a little bit, it might look like a seed. But if we nurture that and we nurture that song that's within us, it starts to grow and will eventually blossom into something that, look how massive this flower is. It almost looks like a tree. So we need to really put attention towards that. I feel that they're really talking about closing off a pattern around seeking is the message that I'm getting, to do with like the twin flame soulmate energy. It's really to be in that resonance, to put your harmony, your frequency out to the world so that others will gravitate or come towards that. Now, what they're showing is to look into different karmic patterns around this as well, because we might also attract those soulmate energies or soulmate frequencies where there's a little bit of karma. So we want to make sure that we're also looking into boundaries, especially at the moment with the Cancer Mars energy that's going on. But yeah, this is something that I could read for an hour or two on. So I'm just trying to package it up in a little neat bow.
Well, on that note, folks, if you're looking for a reading with SOLRETA to go in depth, you can find her at SOLRETAPsychicReadings.com is the website. And the discount code for the 2-hour session where you can dive really deep into things is JC Love in high caps. You can see that scrolling on the screen now. And of course, if you're watching this on replay, also the links are all in the description box below. So you can just click on there and get your booking. Now, when are you booked till? What's your schedule looking like right now, SOLRETA? I know you're quite busy.
I haven't actually checked. I think I'm sort of going up to end of November at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, it's funny how many clients just say either that, like, they feel that they start a healing process or they start to kind of energetically work with me when they make the booking. And then by the time we get to the booking, it's kind of like really getting into the deeper part of it.
Right.
I know some people have also bought gift vouchers for Christmas and things like that,
awesome.
or booked for loved ones for around this time of year. Yeah.
That's a great idea. And I have to say, on a personal note too, one of my dear personal friends, Sarah and I's friends, told us a couple months ago that she had booked with you, and she just had a reading this last week, and she sent Sarah and I an email yesterday saying, "Oh my God, SOLRETA's amazing." I'm like, I know, right? So
she's gorgeous. I feel blessed.
Yeah,
I really do. I feel so blessed to work with my clients, and so many of my clients feel like soul family too. So it's really like a reconnection. I feel really, really lucky.
Absolutely. Okay, SOLRETA, we're 51 minutes in. I forgot to ask you before we went live, how much time do you have for this episode? I have another call at 7:30, another Zoom at 7:30. So potentially I have another 25 minutes if we want to go longer here on the questions. What's your schedule like?
Yeah, no, I can do that.
You can do a little bit more?
We're in lockdown, so this is essentially an outing for me.
There you go. Okay, so which one did I just do? It was Connie. Okay, so I'm up to Sarah. Let's see here. There's at least 3 here. Can we do 3 in the time we have?
Yeah, let's do 3.
Okay.
That's good. It gives me a time gauge for each question.
Okay, so it's going to be Sarah Gordon, Tiffany Baker, or Becker Jones, and John Henrich. So the 3 of you are next. So let's start with Sarah. Let me bring that in. So thank you so much for those donations.
Thank you, Connie. I just saw her message.
Okay, very good. And in the chat, if I'm missing it here, because it does scroll by quite quickly, there was that other donation earlier without the question. I believe it was Marisa Ogello. So if you do have a question for me, we'll take that 4th one in, SOLRETA, if we see it scrolling down in the chat, okay? So let's go back to Sarah now. And Sarah is asking, let me bring that on the screen for you, SOLRETA. There you go. Whoops, Sarah. Love and gratitude to you both. I have been feeling very intense energies this past week. Yeah, wanting to get my business started, but feeling stuck. Can SOLRETA pull a card for some clarity?
Okay, sure.
Oh, sorry, that wasn't.
So the first thing that I see, even before, there's some limitations that need healing around the mental aspect. And what I mean by this is, sometimes like we're like trying to push for things to happen. We really want them to happen on a conscious level. Now, if there's a subconscious belief that's stuck there, it almost is a hurdle or something that we have to jump over energetically. So I'm just seeing something come up that needs to be kind of discarded in the subconscious mind. Now, this could be anything. If it's to do with setting up a business, it could be fear of failure. So sometimes it makes it really hard to get the energy started. And sometimes it can also be like a literal, connection issue in terms of feels like it's roadblock after roadblock after roadblock, and we just want to make sure that, that you really stick with it. So let's have a look into the cards around this. They keep showing me blue. Each time I do kind of like a scan, or that's the way they're showing me, is like a scanning in of her energy. I keep seeing behind the eyes, there's a mental block. Have a look into what was role modeled to you and who you really admire in terms of business, how you see them flow with business. And they're talking about taking on this new imprint and putting and installing that as part of a program. So really look to someone that you admire and start to visualize and see yourself working in that way. It's not necessarily copying, but it's feeling that flow that they have, seeing the aspirations and taking it on as a new model in how to be in the world. So I'll just see what we get. So there's a little bit more learning to do, perhaps with some of the analytical sides of things. I'm also seeing that they're showing me creativity. It's almost like trying to jump from one side of the brain to the other. So it really is about getting an integrative perspective between the analytical, logical sides and the creative side of things is what they're showing at the moment. So I'll flip these cards. Yeah, I can see there's a little bit of interference, but I do feel that it is coming from subconscious. So we have this card, the card of lust, and we can see here that she's trying so hard to birth this new business. And we see all of this subconscious and archonic type energy that might be interfering, that's trying to distract, trying to pull back. So we see that she's got the rein in. You're so close, with this. And then we have the card of interference, and we have the card of adjustment. So adjustment is where we want to get. We want to get onto the other side of the portal. I'm just going to ask them quickly for some advice around this and how to kind of break that subconscious thought pattern or belief. Now, things like hypnotherapy are really good. Working on your confidence. That Paul McKenna app that I talk about all the time is amazing. I Can Make You Confident. It's on Paul McKenna's website, who's a hypnotherapist in the UK. So he has a lovely voice to listen to as well. So I'm just flipping these cards. Yeah, here we go. We are talking about the left and the right brain integration. We've got this duality energy. Yes, please remember to like and share.
Thank you.
So we have this duality energy. Spirit is asking you to go within. So go within, like the hermit, work on yourself, work on those subconscious belief patterns, really start to break them down. Brad Yates on YouTube also has some amazing tapping videos that will help to de-stress and to take away things. Because when you do, you're able to form a new level of thinking. This hanged man represents looking at something from an illuminated perspective. See how around the crown chakra it's illuminated? Mm-hmm. So he's able to view things from a different perspective from which the blockage was created. So we're right on target with what we're talking about from spirit and what it's come up in the cards.
Okay, very good. So thank you for that question. That was
Thank
Sarah.
you.
Was it Sarah? Yes. Yes, that's the one. Okay, so thank you, Sarah. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm still the energies are weird tonight. Okay, the next one is from Tiffany, and then after that, John Henrik, and I believe John is Marisa, I think, in the chat, if I got that right. So let's get into this one first. Tiffany, I would love to know if there is a particular method that's best for me to connect with Source or to Source. Tiffany Jones, thank you so much.
So the first thing that I started to get, as soon as you read that question, Tiffany's question, I just got this pulse on gallbladder point. In acupuncture, it's one of the ones that's the back of the head. It's gallbladder 20. It's one of the gates of consciousness. That's the direct translation, is gates of consciousness. And I felt almost like a little bit of an electrical pulse, whether it's sort of even a little bit headache or migraine-ish. We also have sinus points that run to the back of that area, so it could be a little bit of congestion. But I'm just sort of seeing to look into possible food interactions or things that are affecting, whether it's to do with lymphatic system, sinuses. I'm just seeing something that's sort of on a physical level, making it a little bit harder to connect, or a little bit, it's like when you go to connect those different systems that are coming up. So let's have a look.
Okay.
Okay, so what I'm actually seeing is almost like a connection on a mental level. Now, what they're showing me is a good way for you to connect, Tiffany, is to connect into that space of the heart and into that space. It's like they're already there to connect in with that higher consciousness. The energies are already there, but it's almost like mentally trying to connect to it. And then what's interesting is, especially like with the mental side of things right now, it's very like 3D, and it's very like we have been in this epoch of thinking, and the epoch of the mind, and the epoch of kind of the sword and the intellect. So we're really switching into more the epoch of the wand, and the epoch of the fire, and the epoch of the fashion, and passion and the heart. So it's to use these kinds of ways or these kinds of magic to connect in with source and into higher consciousness. Now we really need to throw off that excess of other people's energy and everything that we've taken with us for the day. So that's where, you know, anything that puts you back into that centered state, whether it's baths, music, meditation, hypnosis, these things are really going to help you recalibrate so that you can allow space for this source energy to come in. So I flip these cards, and this is the message that we've got in the cards too. So we have the Ace of Cups, which is heart energy. It's perceiving something from a heart level. It really is connected to higher self. So they were spot on with what they were talking about with this. And then we have the Chariot, which is moving forward. And then we have the Devil, which is the blockage that we talked about. So it's everything that we just spoke about.
Very good. Wow. Okay. So Tiffany, and also Tiffany, as I read that first question the first time too, what was coming up is in relation to this episode that SOLRETA and I have produced. If you haven't watched that yet, this was the episode 1 of Kundalini and Sex Magic Explained. There's a lot of healing work here at the beginning of the show that opens up some of these inner channels. And so I think for you, this will resonate. So if you haven't seen this episode yet, maybe check that out. There's something in there for you as well to answer your question. And then let's go back here. Sarah Gordon. So I believe Sarah Gordon, who we asked the question here in Patreon and PayPal, is Sarah in the chat. And she is saying, I believe it's her, oh, this resonates deeply. So you just read her. I've been working through a lot of inner child healing recently and ridding myself of the programming from childhood. So yeah, she's saying here it deeply resonated. So that's very good. And Jenny Alicia says, yeah, absolutely. So did she. She's been doing that for months. I think a lot of us are being called to go back and look at that. Who was it the other day? Oh, wait, let me bring this up too on my YouTube channel here. Hopefully that's still up there somewhere. There you go. We're still there. Okay. I have to check once in a while to make sure I'm still there. In this last Quantum Woo episode with Bernhard Gunther last week, we talked about what disclosure was in terms of getting into the reality of things. And he said disclosure is really what we're allowing ourselves to know about ourselves. So it starts there, right? So taking off the blinders, taking that hard look in the mirror. And for a lot of us, as soon as we start doing that, it's uncomfortable because we're looking at a lot of those childhood traumas and memories and old programs and all that. And we really need to start there and be honest about those and work on those. So if you haven't seen this episode, that was absolutely amazing with Mariam Hanin and Bernhard Gunther. Really cool episode, guys. Go check that out. Okay, so the last question here I had, I think for tonight, we might be able to do 1 or 2 more. We're doing well. So the next one was from John Henrik. And that is it's actually for Marissa. So Marisa in the chat, Pinkarisa, I think is her nickname in the chat. Okay, I'm so grateful. Just a card for me and one for the world too. Again, thank you for the beautiful reading, SOLRETA. This is Marissa in Arizona. Love you. Okay, so what does the universe, maybe just pick some cards, general cards on what universe wants to communicate to Marissa at this time. Let's look at it that way. So thank you, Marissa, for that. I appreciate that.
Okay, I'm seeing a golden cup that's appearing, and it looks like a chalice. And the feeling that's coming up with it is almost like a little bit of Indiana Jones energy. And you know how they have the chalice, and it's to pick the right cup. Do you remember that scene? There's like a rock kind of table altar, and there's all the different chalices.
It has to pick the right one.
Yeah, and I think the bad cup goes for this massive chalice that has like, you know, rubies or whatever on it. And then I think Indiana Jones picks up this little cup that's like unassuming. Spirit's just showing me this for some reason. So I'll feel into it. We'll keep going, but that's the direct image that I'm getting, a direct download. Okay, so what they were saying with that is it's like the eyes wanted one thing. The eyes, like, the ego, the greed, the bad guy, he went for, oh my God, JC, you're so quick. We'd be in trouble if
I won't play too much because I'll probably get in trouble. But yeah, that's the scene. I love the old gatekeeper knight here next to him. He's kind of funny, that guy there.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going. Oh, and just before you go, Sarah says yes, she actually watched the episode twice, so
good.
It was resonating with her already. So thank you, Sarah, and perhaps for Sarah too, episode 2 will go into a little bit more details, and this will help you along that path also. Okay, sorry about that interruption. Okay. Back to Marissa here. Okay.
Yeah, so what I'm seeing is it's like the eyes, the third dimension and spirit are saying to focus on this one thing, to look at, that which is shiny, but it's the unassuming one. I actually feel like there's a little bit of possible, there's love interest or love frequency around, but sometimes this can also mean that we're not open to it, or we're not perhaps seeing it. I'll flip the cards. We've got cups cards. Look at the chalices on this. You know how I was just saying Spirit was showing me all of the chalices on the table or on the altar? Yeah. This is literally all of the chalices. So 9 of Cups, it's abundance, it's tapping into fruition, it's Jupiter energy. This is growth, expansion, it's wealth. We have Queen of Discs. Sit back and perceive and really start to look at things from a different point of view. Mm-hmm. So Queen of Discs is interesting because not only does she have the energy of grounding and the Capricorn earth energy, she also has the wand, which has the Merkaba inside the cube. So this is spirit creating the third dimensional reality. So we need to listen to spirit and see where it's guiding us, because your higher reflection is wanting to come down onto the earth plane. So we've got the universe you're tuned into, and we've had that a lot tonight where we've talked about connecting to this golden light, this golden sun energy, this frequency of God, of the universe, and reflecting it down. So really tune into the environment around, tune into things that were perhaps a little bit subtle, perhaps might be flying under the radar, but be that reflection of source here on earth. So it's looking into, I guess, different ways to do that. I'm just going to ask them for some quick cards.
And Marissa says that you did a reading for her a little while back, and you talked about the chalice in your reading. So again,
oh my gosh,
you're getting the same message for her. That's fascinating.
Oh, wow. That's so bizarre. Because when I'm channeling, you might ask me 2 seconds later, what did you say? And I'll be like,
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Well, the cards that we've got sort of working with and what we're letting go of is the card of the devil. And, think outside of the box around this. So the devil is also someone that might be that chalice that's appearing attractive and maybe, kind of bringing a certain frequency or energy around that's perhaps not as healthy. We have 3 of Swords as well. So this is, letting go of those that cause heartache, cause pain, or perhaps the being unworthy of our love. And I'm just seeing it's this little chalice is worthy of love. This little beautiful chalice flies under the radar. It's a source of connection with the divine.
Wow, that's awesome. Let me go back to, so thank you, Marissa, for the tip and for that question. That's absolutely beautiful. And yes, Ronnie says double confirmation indeed. Let me bring that up. And John says it's the telepathy between JC and Solreta. Yeah, I know. Sometimes we're wrong. So let me play this clip here. If you choose the wrong cup, this is what happens to you. So
this is what
these are older special effects. So bear with the special effects here. But yeah, see, the guy's getting old.
It's still scary.
Yeah. It's kind of cool though. I mean, in those days when I was a kid, this was top notch, especially.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God, there you go. Anyways, do we see?
I had so much fun with you, JC.
I want to see if we have the winning cup at the end there. Let me see if I can get that one, or if it's probably in another scene. Oh wait, but what does he say? Oh yeah, hold on a second here. This is the line. All right, so let me bring this up. Hopefully you guys can hear this. And so the gatekeeper here, in response to what just happened, says the following.
Yeah. Oh, and I just want to mention Oh, I just want to mention astrologically, it's about boundaries at the moment, especially around love too. So things might not be apparent now, but in August are going to be brought to our attention. I just want to put that out there too.
August. Oh, that's interesting. There's a lot in August starting.
There is.
I too was looking at predictive linguistics, and there's a lot of the word change coming up in August too. So that's fascinating you say that. Yeah, so just look at his face there. He says, he chose poorly. It's a fascinating show. Okay, let me see here. I have time for one more question. Let's see if we can pick somebody else here from the chat. If there's still more in there. Oh, I have to log back in. Hold on a second. That was beautiful. Thank you, Marissa. That was a great question. Leads us down a good path. I love it. All right. Utopia, thank you. There's no question there, but thank you so much. Appreciate that. Let's see if there's anything else. Let me go and scroll back. What's going on? Hurry up. It seems to be frozen there. Okay, Karen. Okay, I have one more. Let's try to do this one. Karen, okay. Let me bring this up on the screen for you guys. Zoom in. Karen says, oops, let me see if I can zoom this out. Too big for you guys. There you go. I've had legal challenges and accusations from my sister. How will this heal? Oh, wow.
Yeah, let's have a look.
Good one.
Okay.
Karen Musu. Thank you. How will this heal? Okay, that's a great question.
Okay, they're just giving me cards face up. Okay. This is the same message. They just told me to pick cards and put them face up, but it's the same message as what they were telling me. So what I was seeing was we can't really like force healing upon a situation or on someone. All we can do is heal our response or our reaction to different things, because everyone's living out different pains and different hurts and different dramas. And even though we would want the situation to heal, we would want to not have that entanglement happen. We've got the swampy looking card, which is the 7 of Cups. We've got that come out in reverse. So it really is like taking this sludge off you, like just, releasing this energy, coming back to Queen of Wands, igniting your spiritual fire, letting the way that Spirit describes this, because Princess of Wands precedes this. So it's Princess of Wands is being pulled down into kind of like a pit of fear or a pit of hell by a tiger. In this, we see that the big cat is sitting with her at the throne. So there's some kind of like spiritual mastery that's been achieved. So it's like that whole Jedi mind trick of, cutting off from a situation. It's like that is an illusion, cutting off from it. There is an opportunity to heal, but this is within your heart. So it's an opportunity to heal your attachment to the situation. So I really feel that it's about focusing on yourself, not letting other people pull you down. We do have the Lovers card come up. So it does feel that there is an opportunity for a close-off situation. So we've got the card of the universe, but then we've got reconnected back to the universe, to that source. So I would say if we're picking a theme for your show today, JC, it really is connecting with source and connecting to this golden frequency, this golden energy. And it's almost like an umbilical cord, the way that they show it to me. It's like we're reattaching to the umbilical cord, to that direct divine nurturing, to the universe, to God, to the goddess energy. But yeah, what I see with this is it feels like there's an opportunity. I'm just going to pick some clarification cards. I want to have a look just into the other party point of view and see what kind of energy we're working at. Okay. So we have the Hanged Man, which is, it's possibly like there might be limitations around the thinking. They might be stuck in their way of looking at everything. They could even possibly be viewing the situation with this kind of energy. So there could also be archonic influence that's feeding off this energy. And we have 3 of Swords. So it feels like there is heartbreak and things. This is sometimes deceptive type energy too. There's also a bit of a frequency of 2 different stories going on. I feel that one person's view on something is more to do with like a lack or limitation and to do with personality. So we can have a personality sometimes of, no matter how much we give, there's never enough. So I'm seeing this more sort of like with the other party, whereas like the other person is trying to look at it and understand, but they've got it from more like a centered heart point of view, not knowing like why this situation has happened and not knowing why certain people act certain ways. There's like two opposing forces. So it really is trying to, I guess, wash the sludge and slime away, reconnect back into your place of power is kind of, even though that's happening, it's about focusing on other things in life at the moment, looking at where you have other, like love opportunities. And I don't mean like as in a relationship point of view, but I mean, other chances to connect to heart space energy and start to really kind of like heal this situation for yourself.
Very good. Wow. Okay. We have a few minutes left, and I told a very good friend of mine, dear friend of mine, that I would do a healing meditation for her tonight, and it is none other than Penny Kelly. We were supposed to do a show right after here at 7:30. This is the Break in the Clouds, and Penny's assistant sent me an email today saying that Penny has just undergone surgery, and so she was canceling all of her shows today. She put out the same message on her Patreon as well. So my heart goes out to Penny, and I want to ask everyone here to join SOLRETA and I in this very impromptu but heartfelt meditation here to send some healing energy to our friend Penny. So let me bring up a full smile of hers. So this show will be, of course, postponed. Hopefully, maybe next week. We'll see. I didn't want to rush her. I just said, yes, absolutely, no problem. We'll take it off the books for tonight. And anytime she's ready, she's always welcome back on the show. And folks, in the meantime, though, if you want to go check out, let me see where it was. This one here, the one we just did this week, which was called ETs and Human Trafficking. Let me bring that up on the pay-per-view here. This was absolutely fabulous because for the first time in months, you know how she does these look-sees, like these remote viewings in the future? She could never see past this white wall that she kept banging into, where this week she was just allowed to look on your side of that white wall. And the timing is exactly at the same time as, of course, SOLRETA was seeing this crack of light of the Matrix this week. Imagine the coincidence there. So, folks, do go check that out. There's only one Penny Kelly show right now available on pay-per-view. You can't miss it. This is the show you're looking for. So, in the meantime, until she comes back, maybe hopefully next week for a Break in the Clouds, if you're looking for a fix with Penny Kelly, please do go watch this episode. Now, let's take the last couple of minutes here to send Penny some love and some healing energy. Oh, I was hoping you would guide us.
Oh, I thought you were doing it.
I know I have a gazillion controls. No, I'll support you, and the audience will support us as well. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm actually just getting guided to like run and grab. I've got like a little bell thing. Hold on.
Okay, let's do that.
Hold on. They're just telling me that I'm getting two different things. They're showing me a bell, but then I'm being shown a crystal bowl. I've got some crystal bowls, but they are packed away. But I will do a show. They've been asking me to do a show with crystal bowls. I'll go get my little bell. Okay.
All right. And I think what I'll do, do I have this huge? I have quite a few crystals here all around me. So we're just going to call on all of your energy, all our friends, and all of you in the chat here to focus on healing energy for
and I just realized I've got my celestial here. So celestials are self-repairing. And I feel that Spirit is just guiding me.
People can see it there. Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah. So an celestial is self-repairing. So it's almost like a quartz, but when they get little fractures or little breaks or they splinter, they actually emit like a salt and they start to heal and recrystallize. So let's also send love and send healing on that crystalline light body template area that may, come down and transduce into the physical. So if we'd like to visualize this healing energy going into Penny's beautiful light body and then sending that into the physical. So they've just asked me to ring this little bell just to clear some of the frequency from, questions and everything. So we'll go into that space. So just taking a couple of aligning, centering breaths. So we're just going to breathe in. And breathing all the way out. And just starting to perceive or feel a beautiful golden light connected at the top of your head, reaching up and connecting to God, to the universe, and coming all the way down and surrounding you. Continue to keep breathing all the way in. That's right. And all the way out. And feeling that vibration coming down from that golden ball of light, feeling it flood throughout your light body, throughout your physical nervous system, throughout all of the muscles, all of the bones, feeling it starting to glow and emanate outside of you into the etheric, into the mental body, the astral body, the emotional body, and your spiritual body of your aura. And seeing this golden light ebbing and flowing and orbing with that high frequency. And just connecting into this beautiful point of your heart chakra and perceiving a beautiful pink light. And just sending some of that love frequency and healing frequency to Penny. And just as we were talking about before, already healed. So sending her that divine template of already healed and already feeling connected. And I'm just going to leave you for a moment to allow that flow to take place. And so just quietly, just saying to yourself, it is done, it is done, it is done. Already healed, already perfect, already complete. It is done, it is done, it is done. And just when you're ready, coming back into the room, coming back into this time and space, coming back into your body.
And John says it's already done. So there you
Perfect.
go. I love you guys. Okay, thank you so much. And so I've just posted in that video as well that it has been postponed. So if you're looking later in that video, you'll see my comment there. I will eventually take the poster off a little bit later tonight here. But thank you everyone for sending us that energy. So folks, I have to go. I have another Zoom call here to do. This was, of course, Simulated Reality with Solreta Part 12. Join us again next Friday at 6 o'clock Eastern Time for Part 13. And of course, in the meantime, you can follow Solreta at Solreta Anteria here on YouTube, and also book a reading while you can at SolretaPsychicReadings.com. And the coupon code there for the Beyond Mystic audience is, of course, JC Love. So thank you so much, Solreta, for being here. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. And please do remember, send some energy to Penny, and also please remember to like, share, and subscribe here on our backup channel. And for those of you looking for me on Patreon, currently suspended, working on the issues, I know. So stay tuned, and we'll eventually get there. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Have a great weekend, and take care. Au revoir.